So how do you go from some of that rhetoric to reality? Well, it brings us to two people working right now on an opportunity project in Baltimore tied to the Preakness Horse Race. It's a culinary art and music festival to renew investment in Baltimore and extend the horse race's benefits to a wider grouping of the surrounding community that makes Baltimore what it is, which brings us to who you see right here, Club Quarantine founding DJ, D Nice, celebrated artist who, most importantly to our viewers, has DJ'd for the Obamas, facts, and music mogul Kevin Liles, the entrepreneur who co-founded 300 Entertainment, which was recently sold for a reported $400 million, suggesting he may know something about money, and former president of Def Jam. He's worked with Jay-Z, Mariah Carey, Megan Thee Stallion, and much more. And that's only a partial introduction, given how much you guys are up to. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. How you guys doing?
Thank you, brother.
You know, I love you, man. Thank you for having us here.
Great to have you both here. I want to get into what you're doing in Baltimore, why you're both sitting there in that beautiful spot. But it is Friday. We got time for both. So with Fallback, D Nice, anything out there that it's on your mind or you think needs to fall back?
Let me think about that. As much as I thrived during the pandemic, we don't need another pandemic. So we need monkeypox to fall back.
Yeah, we're hearing about this, and it's weird, right? I mean, the stories go around, and you immediately think, are we in for this all over again?
No, we definitely need that to fall back. We don't need another pandemic.
Now, Kevin, you can be an iconoclast, but I imagine you're also anti-pandemic rather than pro-pandemic. But what else is on your list?
Hey, man, you know, my heart is still heavy with what happened with the shootings in Buffalo. And I need white supremacy to fall back. Yes. I need people to understand that next week we're celebrating George Floyd anniversary. And we said we were going to make a difference. We said we we're going to make a change and come together as a country. So I need that to happen. So racism, white supremacy, sexism, genderism, whatever you want to call it, I need all that to fall back.
D Nice, how do you feel about that point? I mean, so much of what both of you do, and you've both been on this program before, so viewers may remember, but especially with Club Quarantine, you know, you bring people together, you do joy, you do energy, and yet we're in a time where there's this rising hate is real. Tonight's show, Kevin brings it up. We've covered violence, access to guns, hate and replacement theory, and people in America going abroad and saying, oh, maybe that we should do it like the ethno-nationalists, which is a long ways from where we want to be, most of us.
Absolutely. The way that I feel about what's going on now, sometimes, not even want to say sometimes, it is heartbreaking, you know, because during the pandemic, it felt like we were all surrounding each other with love. You know, we were all supporting and uplifting one another. And as the world opens up more, it's like the violence is increasing. And like you said, racism is spiking. Like it's, you know, we need all of that to fall back, man, and just share some love. That's why we're here in Baltimore right now, you know, like to show love to the people. And you know, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think one of the great things I love about my partners at first and the people who actually go into Preakness, they said we want the soul of Baltimore.
Absolutely.
So you can't have soul without D Nice and bring a Club Quarantine here, and Megan Thee Stallion and Lauryn Hill and my girl Brittany Spencer, Juan Moore. So I just brought some friends out. We're gonna hang out, have a good time. Preakness.
You brought out another.
We got another friend too, Ari.
Hi, Ari.
How you doing, Gail?
Preakness, and I'm here because of Kevin Liles. I just heard you say something about fallback and kindness, because I too spent the whole week thinking about Buffalo. You know, it doesn't make sense to me that we cannot get baby formula in this country, but we can get guns. That doesn't make any sense. So we're here today. Kindness counts. Yes. Everybody feels united. The spirit is really great. Let me just say this, Ari. This is your kind of party. This is your kind of party. It's good music. It's good people. I don't know how you feel about horses, but the vibe is really great. And I said, when I walked in, I saw these two sitting here, and I said, what are you guys doing? They said, we're waiting for Ari. I go, well, I want to say hi to Ari. Ari, I know you gotta go.
Hey, no, I'll ask you, can she hear me, or she doesn't have the earpiece? I don't even know.
Yes, I don't have an IFB, but I hear you.
I love you crashing an interview. You could crash B interviews anytime.
Hey, Ari, don't tell CBS.
I don't know. Kevin, do you think CBS could find out? We are on live TV. I don't know.
They can find out, but we're talking about Gayle King. Gayle King, #1 morning show. Gayle King's my girl. All the blessed.
Shout out. And something.
If I lose a job, I play nice with others. I'm very, very thorough and very, very kind. I'll see you back home.
I love it. I'll see you in New York. Wow, I didn't know that was going to happen. I'll tell you some things are more important than all of the who works where. So I love her coming out just as we love the NBC Morning Show. We love Gail. Before I turn to other things, Kevin, just one more point on what you're doing. What does it mean in this community? Someone like you, I mentioned your success, but I've gotten to know you. Your success is not just financial. You got people who you work with, and you keep up those relationships for years. What does it mean, what you're trying to do in Baltimore, so that these things that happen, right, where there is some money being sprinkled around, there are some fancy people, whatever, actually get out into the community for jobs and what former President Obama was talking about there?
This is the 147th race, and I can only tell you that the soul of Baltimore hasn't been present because they didn't really know what it was. We're in Park Heights. You know, this is one of those communities that's in a renaissance right now. And for what the first group has done, putting so much into it, for what the community has done for Park Heights, for what the whole city, you know, Mayor Scott has done, they laid it out and they said, hey, let's have one Baltimore. Let's make this first experience. And we're giving back to charities. We got 500 kids who don't even know anything about horse racing. We're inviting them to the race. You know, we're breaking the cycle. We're going to have enough opportunity for people in Baltimore, people from Baltimore, to participate in the Preakness. So I'm glad that everybody's coming out.
Absolutely. Well, that's why we wanted to tap in on that. There's one other item that's quite serious, but I got to get your reaction on it. Let me catch up viewers. An Atlanta prosecutor just indicted over 20 people, sweeping indictment, including artists that are on Kevin's label, Young Thug and Gunna. It's an unusually large 56-count indictment. It alleges violations of racketeering law. Both these individuals, who are quite prominent, you may have seen them, Gunna there at the Met Gala recently, are currently being held incarcerated despite being legally presumed innocent. The case is controversial. It's quite serious. You know both these men well. And Kevin, since you're on the news this week, I did want to get your response to the case. What can you tell us? What's your reaction?
YSL is not a game. Why is music on trial? Why is lyrics on trial? Why is why are we not protecting black art? Why is there any other art form? You can make movies, you can do anything else, but when it comes to us with lyrics and you want to put us on trial. You know, I think it's unfair. Prayers and blessings to them. We're working very hard. Again, YSL is not a gang. I want to shout out Little Keed, another YSL member who unfortunately passed away on Friday. This is tragic. And to Doug and Gunna, to the members of YSL, I'm with you. We love you, and we look forward to you getting home.
And Kevin, are you working with the label, or are you working with their lawyers? What is their sort of outlook, to the extent you can discuss it, on the case?
I can't discuss too much, but I can tell you it's all hands on deck, and we're working closely with their teams. I'm actually working closely with the officials also, because I clearly think this is a witch hunt around lyrics, and again, I want to protect black art.
And D. Nice, more broadly, again, I'm not suggesting you have knowledge of the case the way Kevin might, but since you're here at the table, he raises the point about art on trial. In reporting on this, I looked at the indictment. I can tell you this. When you see an actor indicted for their conduct, you don't see their movies in the indictment. I looked at it. There are over a dozen references to lyrics, to music videos. At one point, there's a reference as a legal, quote, overt act to a bandana worn in a music video. I'm just curious, writ large, that artistic point to you, D. Nice.
It's insane. I do love that New York just banned allowing people to use.
They passed the bill. They passed the bill.
I think that bill is important, and that's the way like every state should kind of follow. You can't use someone's lyrics. Like you said, if you know, if Arnold Schwarzenegger was on trial, they wouldn't use the Terminator. You know, like you can't use art, man. You got to protect black art.
Yeah. Kevin, it's been a long week. You get the final word here with about 20, 30 seconds left on the week in the segment.
But listen, it's a blessing. I'm glad we got the chance to fall back. Like I said, end racism. Let's come together in unity. Baltimore, we're here. The Preakness, my first group. Thank you so much for doing an amazing event. Tomorrow we're going to have a race, and looking forward to Lauryn Hill and Megan tonight. God bless you, man.
Shout out to all of it. I appreciate the work you guys are doing. And I never thought I'd say this, but it's quite possible the best person in this segment wasn't even booked for it.
Yes. Well, Gail is always the best person in the segment.
No shade, just facts. Good luck. Again, appreciate what you're doing out there. Cover more than one issue here as we try to do around here. Kevin Lyles, DJ D Nice, and yes, the great Gail King, unannounced. Thanks to all of you. That does it for us after a long week, but keep it locked right here. The Readout with Joy Reid starts now.